Hello, developers, and welcome to Innovation Coffee, brought to you by ARM, where the coffee is hot, but the innovation is hotter. In fact, I don't have my coffee today, so that kind of sucks. My name is Robert Wolf, joined by my amazing co-host here, Michael Hall, and we will
Hello.
be your hosts. Hello, Mike. What's up? How you doing? We'll be your hosts this week and every week as we take a deeper look at the ARM developer ecosystem and explore the many things happening in and around this exciting space. Now, each of these live streams will start with a kind of developer update. Sometimes we skip it, sometimes we go into it a little more. We'll have some in-depth conversations with about ARM with our developers. We bring on featured guests, and we have a lot of fun talking about the cool stuff that's happening. Now, of course, if you have any questions throughout the live stream, feel free to post them in the YouTube chat. We do try to end every single episode with an audience Q&A, but if you have something that's going on throughout and you'd like to get it to our guest or one of the hosts, me or Michael, go ahead and just post them there. As a reminder, if you enjoyed this episode, make sure you hit that like button. And don't forget to subscribe to the ARM Software Developer YouTube channel. Now, in today's episode, we're going to be talking about, or we're going to be exploring AI innovations with one of our very own ARM ambassadors, Peter Ng. And he is joining us live with Stephen Azoigbo, who is the Senior Director of Education and Research Ecosystem Development, live from Africa at the AI Expo 2023 AI Expo in Africa, I believe South Africa. And we're going to find out a lot more about this. But before we do that, Michael, do you have anything you would like to update our people with?
Nothing I want to update them with, but I do want to remind everybody that if you like these episodes, that you should hit that like and subscribe button so that you can see every future episode, because we do have a nice lineup of guests coming throughout the rest of the year and into next year.
Yeah, I want to say, like, don't just hit it, like annihilate that thing, smash it. Yeah,
Okay. That's the term.
Yeah. And Gabe, our producer over here, he says that even if you don't like it, we still get points on the YouTube SEO. So if you don't like it, hit don't like button. That's fine. We're okay with that.
Any engagement is good engagement.
Okay, cool.
Hopefully you like it. Hopefully we do a good job. Everybody loves it. Keeps watching.
Yeah, I'm sure. So, okay, Michael, I think it's time to bring in our guests here. We have Peter Ng. Hello, Peter. How are you?
Hey, good, and yourself?
Peter.
Good. Thank you. So I'm excited to see that you have ARM developer program branding behind you. I'm excited to see that there is it looks like an amazing presence at the AI Expo in Africa. But first, before we talk about what's going on over there, like, who are you? Let's get to know Peter Ng first, and then we'll talk about what's going on over there.
Okay, thanks. So I'm ambassador here based in South Africa, working with ARM developer program. I've got background working with TinyML, Edge Impulse, also Edge Impulse ambassador as well. Also looking after the TinyML community and also Blues wireless amplifier. So quite a lot of things happening in the embedded Edge AI and even cloud space as well. So myself, I'm an electronic engineer with a background in hardware and software. So yeah, it's exciting times. I'm in my element here doing what I enjoy most. So hopefully you guys can get a view of what we're doing in Africa as well.
Very nice. Yeah. So why don't you give us a little, can you span the camera around? Can we kind of see your environment? Is that possible?
Yes, I can. It's okay. So here's the booth behind me. I'm just going to sort of do it behind me. I'm going to walk out the booth so you can actually see the whole booth in its entirety from outside. So if you look behind me, you can see we have the ARM. Just adjust it there. We have the ARM robots in the back with a nice.
That's Cookie. That's
green,
Cookie.
It's these, with a green-blue color scheme.
Yeah.
We have a little booth table here also with a custom ARM branding. And we have an MPS server, by the way.
Oh, wow.
So, sorry, my angle's a bit bad. Come. Like that, eh?
Very nice.
So, yeah, so it's a Mount Collins 2U unit. Walking around, we have a case with some stuff on display, some goodies on display here. We have a selection of kits. I'll just zoom in a little bit. On top here, we have some Spark Fun, we have some micro mods, we have Silicon Labs, Gecko. In the middle, we have a whole Nordic semi showcase, NRA 52, NRA 53 thingies, thingy 92, something 91, 53. And then coming over at the bottom, we have some ST M3. I just want to show the drone at the bottom quick, y'all.
Oh, the drone?
We have this cool kit from STM Micro. It's actually a drone kit, and actually it contains a flight control board that takes care of all the hardcore stuff when you build a drone, and you can actually interface it to a bigger drone as well. Quite a cool little board. Over here, We have a little bit of an IoT showcase on top. A mixture of things. There's a PLC there. There's a WIO terminal. There's some Blues wireless note card, note carrier F. There's also a board there as well. IMX board. Almost Emperor and STM32WP from STM Micro, which is your multi-protocol LoRa radio. And yeah, we're moving actually around to this side to see the banner. There's some more goodies I'll show you in the place now as well.
Familiar.
There we go. So we got like a nice robot banner. And there we have a little from a side view. We have some books on display there.
Very nice.
Okay. Just getting in a little bit closer. Yeah. And of course, coming around in the middle, we got some Arduino stuff. Here in the middle, we got some interesting stuff. We've got the Arleaf Ethos board. We've got the Brain Chip Neuromorphic. We've got a good old-fashioned Jetson Nano. And of course, Raspberry Pi 4. And at the bottom, we've got a nice little Arduino showcase. So we have like Arduino Edge control. There's an Arduino PLC behind it and some of the development kits. And here we got the Portenta family and the Nicola family. So the Nicola Vision, the Nicola Sense, and of course the old-fashioned RP2040, the Tracking RP2040 Connect. So yeah, so we've got basically a selection of hardware starting from embedded all the way to cloud. So we're spanning the ARM ecosystem all the way up from, right from the little constrained microcontroller all the way up to the cloud. And also we have a Windows and ARM kit as well, which is the developer kit. That's basically it's running Windows on ARM. So it's a Snapdragon chipset, and it's running full Windows 11. You can basically do whatever you want to do normally on your normal x86 platform. Full Visual Studio runs most of the developer workload runs. So essentially, from a developer, you're actually working on this thing. It feels like you're running a normal Windows 11 laptop or PC. You don't actually realize it's actually a Windows on ARM device. So also ARM device, and it's snappy. It's very fast. I don't know how we're going to demo that to you. Ideally, it would be nice to demo it. Here I've got the device here. So it's a little it's a very compact little unit. It's got Wi-Fi built in.
Nice. So that's kind of like it's like a little Nook.
Yeah, it's a bit bigger than Nook. It's twice the size of a Nook. Yeah.
Sorry,
So these basically the unit, but when you use it, it's very snappy. I must say it's faster than my i5 laptop. So that's actually quite decent. And I think it's the name of it, the Volterra developer kit or something. I'll get the name of it.
The Volterra. I'm familiar.
Yes.
I'm familiar with that one. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's a nice little development kit.
That's pretty cool. It's pretty unique. It's nice. It's nice. And it's a nice talking point because what happens is a lot of developers that are not embedded, in other words, they are application developers. A lot of them are saying like, what is ARM? I know of ARM, but how does it apply to me? I didn't really think about it before. So now it's a case of you can actually now check that little compile to ARM Arch64 checkbox now when you build. And a lot of guys are asking like, but why? So I think they're starting to realize the future will be built in ARM. They're realizing that a lot of software vendors are going to port their software, and eventually it's going to become an option for users to be buying computers. Like you're going to have an ARM versus another one. And if you're not a developer, you're not actually targeting that. You might get to a point where your app is not compatible with the hardware because somebody wants to buy this for their company or something. So I think we're gonna have a workshop tomorrow. We have 200 people in the workshop. It's quite a big one. We have like a whole bunch of Arduino RP2040 kits, and we're gonna come up with a whole ARM expose, hackathon where people are gonna have to build things live and work with Arduinos. And also we're gonna showcase the Windows on ARM. I've got a young kid, I've tasked him with a homework assignment to actually set up his Pi 4 with ARM or with Windows. So he showed me a video, he's got it going. Hopefully the SD card doesn't get corrupted on the flight. And I think that'll be cool to show people, because when people see the Raspberry Pi, a lot of people are familiar with that. So when they see Windows and that, it's like, aha, So we have something for everyone. So that's going to be tomorrow, and then I'll be doing a talk on Blues wireless tomorrow. Again, good old Blues, introducing that. So there's a lot happening. I think maybe we should do a little walkabout just to see what's happening. Just all quickly.
Nice. I want to give. I feel bad. I keep interrupting Michael. I want to give you some talking time, buddy.
I wanted to say I love that display case there. That idea. I've wanted to do this, like display all the hardware from small to giant, and that display case just does it so well. Robert, we need to have those at all of our big events. I think.
Oh yeah, a little display case or
Yeah.
or a board wall. We were talking about building a board wall.
Yeah.
Do we get to meet Steven now? Is Steven there?
Steven's there. He's director of photography here.
I'm behind the camera, man.
Yes.
Okay,
He's
our
directing the
camera
laptop.
guy.
Yeah.
Well, this is really cool. So are you able to kind of like walk us through the event, or will the internet hold up?
Yeah, shoot. Unless you want to switch to your phone or what. That's fine, okay. So behind us here we have this little the internet will hold up, yes. We have a 360 like photo stand, you know, one of those things. See, give me
Oh, yeah.
that. Maybe I must grab my phone. Yeah, good thinking about the internet there. I must actually go back and collect my phone because I'm tethered to my phone with mobile data here. So this is just a coffee. So we're actually lucky to be right in front of the coffee area.
That's the
So
best.
we've actually managed to get like a lot of attention as people come and grab a coffee and they're like, hey, what's going on here? So people love seeing boards and kits and hardware and stuff like that. I'm just grabbing my phone quickly so we can make sure we don't run out of activity. Yes, let's go. So
So
Oh, yeah, we
this
have the
is a 2-day conference, right? And you've already finished your first day there.
if you can see, we have the ARM partner wall. So we have the brands that we're representing here.
Hey, Peter, this is the last day of the conference, right, or the first day?
The first day.
First
Right.
day. Okay, cool.
So you've had one full day already, right?
Yeah, this is the end of the first day. So this is a company behind us. I'm actually not sure what they do, but so there's some interesting hardware on display as well. These guys, they're making waffles here. They're gone now. So yeah, always a good snack gets people at your stand. So they got like waffle irons there at the stand there, so you can actually
The AI waffles.
AI waffles, yes. Here behind, open text. Here behind us, we got some nice. Again, I don't know what these guys do. I think it's some LLM type thing, but they got some nice, cool pictures there. And then, so I'm walking backwards. So we have, so like I said, most of the vendors are gone. Some are lingering around in their booth. We have Google behind us, good old-fashioned Google. The origins of Tiny
Oh, yeah,
Mail and Flow. They've got a little stand here.
It's
So
really the
we'll
end of
actually-
It's really the end of the day. Like people have already shut down and left.
Yes, because it's like a little VIP type function that
Yeah.
we're missing now. So they're going to have like a break now, a little drink and a socializing thing.
Nice, cool. So we're keeping you help.
Yeah,
We're holding you up from the
more.
drinks.
Who knows? There are some demos we should see as well. So there's all the people there having a good time.
Forged.
These guys do
Lark AI.
AI systems. So where are we now? We are coming down another walkway here.
Now I can hear that
Here we have
background
one
music
of
we were
the
talking about earlier.
guys do some work with ARM as well. MLab, the NGO that work with ARM. So we're just showing you some. There's a spot dog here as well, but I don't know where it is right now. Solutions. So so a lot of these guys are doing LLM-based consulting and applications. These are cool rig I saw somewhere. I don't think it's here now, but hopefully we'll see it. There's a nice PC rig, like a gaming well AI workstation. So it looks like a couple of T4s in it and stuff. These guys do training, AI training. They train basically. They have a drone as well. They took away now, but they do a lot of training on that how to do anything in AI. This is UI path, RPA guys. Now behind me is something cool. Ignore the other brand. We're friends. So, but check this out. I think you'd like this. This is something you'd love. This is like a monster.
Oh wait, which tower is that? Is that Ampere? Is that have an Ampere chip in there?
No, it doesn't. Yeah, we should be trying this. It's super micro, but it's got T4. So there's some NVIDIA T4s in there, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, this is like a press room. So this is where we do the interviews and
Oh, cool.
So now we're doing like an official interview here, lights, camera, action. So as we do all the media interviews.
Very nice.
So you see the AI Africa branding, AI Expo Africa. So this expo basically targets all the whole AI community footprint in Africa itself. You pretty much have everyone who's involved in something in AI here, from software to consultants to even policymakers as well. So we have also another local company here. Here's something interesting behind me here. This is a drone. It's a crop. Let me just pull that away. It's a crop
Oh, wow.
drone. It's like it's humongous. So,
Yeah, that's big. You could stand, you could fly on that thing.
yeah, you can sit on this thing. Eh? Like, well, they obviously won't start it up. So yeah, so
Reminds me of some of the
coming
drones
around
we
now.
saw at
So
Open.
we're gonna go back to the booth. It's getting a bit noisy this side. Oh, yeah. This is Deloitte, so I'm sure you know them.
Yeah, yeah.
They're here as well. Then we have an innovation wall and some artwork. So we have, every year there's an AI art expo. Yeah, and we just passed it now. Heading back to the
AI art.
booth now.
So, Peter, Steve, is there any way we can get Steven on the call here too? I want to.
Steven, no. Let me sit down now again.
Yeah, so maybe Steven, if you want, we can bring you in on your phone, or you can sit there with Peter. I just want to make sure we get the audio right, because I wanted to ask you some questions too. Hey, Steven, how are you?
Hey, man. How are you?
Good. We just saw each other last week in London, Cambridge. Good to see you again.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
So I think it's important. By the way, Peter, thank you so much for both of you for walking us around that expo. I mean, it looks like there's a lot of really cool stuff going on there. I am interested in kind of like diving a little deeper into the website and seeing, how much ARM is actually being used there, because it looks like there's a lot of cool tech. I did want to ask you, Steven, tell us like ARM in South Africa. This is amazing. Like, this is really cool. You guys have an amazing booth. I think a great presence. Peter, bringing our ambassadors in. Like what's going on here? This is a great effort on your part. How do we make this happen?
Absolutely. It's our second year here. Big shout out to Gemma and the team for leading this effort this year, because essentially last year was our first, and it was a coming out party. It was about the ecosystem. This year, we're actively promoting the developer program. We're showcasing a lot of the ARM technology, and we're making sure that the ARM ambassadors like Peter become the face of what will be an ambassador recruitment process, because there are a lot of startups here. We didn't show you because they were on the other side, but a lot of startups using ARM to build out some magnificent technology. So you got folks building on ST boards, you got folks building on Arduino, you got folks building on even microbit, believe it or not, right? So you got folks doing some very exciting things here. And really a combination of, even the city government is here. There's a lot of AI policy. Folks are worried about like AI ethics as well. So it's a very good melting pot of technology, policy, ecosystem, and developer activity. We had a busy booth, man. I mean, we had folks coming through asking questions. We had demos of Windows on ARM. We have demos of the Ampere board. We were showcasing a lot of the Arduino capabilities with the different boards we had here. So it was a vibrant day. I mean, we're picking up some B-roll that we'll send to you as well. Hopefully before this goes fully, well, it's live now, but to the extent that we can add into later, we'll get that going.
Yeah, we can always add the snippets to YouTube and then kind of like, link off to them afterwards. But that would be nice. So this is really cool. Yeah. I love the idea. Peter, you're there representing the program, man. That's awesome. Our ARM ambassadors are literally
at our booths.
Yeah, the global presence, that the decentralization of the ARM developer program. So it's really cool. I wanted to Michael, did you want to ask any questions? Because you have questions specific to the event, I think.
I do, yeah. So you've been through, you're halfway through the event now. Has there, what's been your favorite thing that you've seen so far?
Interesting. I think for me, the little robot that's following Steven around. there's this robot that's following Steven around. It's like a little two-wheeled robot. No, but seriously, I think what's interesting, what's excited me the most is the passion, especially coming to our booth. We've had a lot of people coming and looking at the hardware. You know, hardware toys always gets people's attention, but you can see like the interest is there, and people are wanting to actually look deeper. People are actually saying like, you know, they've been playing with coding, they've been working on Python, they've been working on Arduino, but they actually want to do something more. They want to learn, and the students that are coming around also are realizing as well. Obviously, seeing now the explosion of technology and AI globally, and IoT, and you know, and they need to have hard tech skills. I see guys coming and saying, you know what, I actually want to learn CPU architecture. I want to learn, and a lot of people ask, what is ARM, obviously, and a lot of people,
Yeah.
the biggest tech company you probably may not have heard of if you're not an engineer or something, because it's there in everything. The other guys are good at putting stickers on PCs, so you know who they are. So people when they get it, like, I get it. I didn't actually realize that I actually have so many ARM chips in my possession, like in my Apple phone or my Samsung or my Qualcomm. What's actually quite funny is we actually in this booth we actually have over 300 ARM CPU cores in this little
wow.
booth.
Wow.
Because the
How
Ampere
many of
server
those
alone
are
is
just in that Ampere rack, though?
Yeah, most
Tons
of
of
them are in the
boards.
Ampere. So Peter, it's kind of funny you say like a lot of people stop by and they ask like, what is ARM? And this is something that we have noticed as evangelists throughout this year, going to a bunch of events. There's really no middle ground. It feels like you either find developers who really know about ARM and are working on ARM and are just killing it, or developers who have no idea what it is. And there's not really any developers right there in the middle that and they're just like, oh yeah, ARM, I kind of know about them. They're, I've worked a little bit, but that seems to be the spectrum. Now, granted, there are the middle ground, but for the most part, have you noticed that as well or no?
Yes.
Absolutely. I mean, you look at what some of the demos we ran on Windows on ARM, right? It was mind blowing to some of the developers to see that, not only did we have the dev kits, but they could also just scan the QR code on the wall, get into the Dev Hub environment, get onto the Windows on ARM tab, and immediately start to see stuff. It was mind blowing to a few of them because that's as real as it gets, for this ecosystem. It's about saying, look, show and tell, and then give the resources, make them available, the learning paths, all the developer tools, all of the videos. Our new look developer program is going gangbusters here because folks are just easily able to hit that QR code, get into the zone, and get going, right? And we're really excited about that because it makes a lot of that evangelism much more direct, much more amenable, and folks are able to get in where they fit in. You know what I mean? So that part of it has been very, very gratifying.
And by the numbers, you guys are really killing it for the developer program, and we are very grateful. By the numbers, I think at this point, Africa has the most ARM developer program members. So keep up the awesome work. This is just awesome.
We have a workshop tomorrow, as Peter mentioned, right? So we're going to be showcasing the developer program, showing off the tools, showing off the platform. Peter's going to be running a few demos across TinyML, across Ampere, across Windows on ARM. We had oversubscription. We're at 200 now, right?
Wow.
And I still have people walking up to the booth talking about, can I walk in? Can I get in? Now, of course, you know how it is, Rob, with events, right? We may have 150, 100, whatever. But the fact that we are oversubscribed, the fact that we have people still walking in, asking for access, and then the fact, of course, as I mentioned before, that they could get direct access to the platform and start really looking at stuff right now, that's really exciting.
And we've
Very
got
cool.
people in our Discord asking for access to that workshop too. We had Patrick Limo just the other day asking how he could get into that. So y'all need to do this as a video or something that we can put on the Dev Hub later, so everyone can
yeah. So we had to do that. We had to really document the process, right? So we got a small local camera crew here just to really capture it and get us. So we'll send you like a day 1 edit, and then we'll send like a day 2 edit. But we are capturing a lot of video just to tell that story, right? Because you've really seen like, the empty booths and all that, but it would be nice for you to see what this looks like, when it's active and vibrant.
Right. Yeah. I am interested in hearing more about this workshop. So maybe Peter, are you hosting the workshop?
We're hosting together, and I think what the plan is, was still like, well, what Stephen is we're thinking about is we're going to look at the community and see like what are the actual skills profiles, because in the past you have like just an embedded workshop, and then everybody comes in, and like you said, it's either that you're either an embedded guy or you're an engineer, you know low levels, you know ARM, or you're an application developer working up the stack at a higher level of abstraction, and it doesn't actually matter to you what CPU architecture you're working on. So if we want to capture those people in and get them to understand and start doing evangelizing on R64 as well, to get people to think all the way up the stack. So the idea is we're going to see what the workshop audience, like where they fit in, and then kind of tailor it to that kind of conversation. There's probably going to be a mixture of people, and we'll try and touch on as much as we can. We've got a 3-hour session, so it's quite a bit of time to cover, because once you start explaining it to people, they start having these moments of like, oh, the light bulb comes on. And when you show all the actual stuff in real life, that also helps. Instead of just showing it on a web page or actually having it. So showing them the Ampere server, for example. I mean, that thing's got 160 cores, Neoverse N1 cores in it. So when I was talking to Peter at Ampere, that we were discussing the performance. I mean, those cores are running at higher performance points than the actual Raspberry Pi. So you've got over 100 odds, like easily over 100. So I tell people this is like 150 Raspberry Pis. Like you'll take into account. They'll be like, wow, like in this box, and what can you do with that? And like, it obviously gets people to think about, ARM is not just a microcontroller. It's not just, you can build on the cloud, you can build desktop applications. I think Windows and ARM will also be the big game changer for this, because once developers start to see that new, now, a lot of guys have had a bad experience with Windows and ARM in the past with Windows RT on the Surface.
Yeah.
So the old Surfaces, that Windows RT, so you had to target the RT APIs, the whole different APIs, and your apps, you could not take your code base and port it across. So there's a lot of legacy pain, when you mention to guys who have dabbled in ARM, but now when they see it's not Windows RT, it's literally still unified, same Windows programming surface you're working on. Suddenly your standard.NET developer, your WWF developer, your MAUI developer, your UWP developer, they all will suddenly say, hey, I can actually just target this platform now, no fuss, and then you start thinking about the sustainable computing, because you've got low power computing that doesn't use a lot of power. The world's moving forward. Everybody's looking at SDGs right now. Everybody's looking at how can we build a better future. So suddenly companies will start buying this, and people will start wanting this, because here in Africa too, we have challenges on power. So anything that saves power is also good for our grid. And we started realizing that if we all adopted low power hardware, we'll actually reduce the strain on our grid, and we wouldn't have the lights going off sometimes. Which is yeah.
It's gone off a few times since I was here.
Yes.
And then right now, I think, Robert, to your question, we kicked off with a pre-workshop survey just so we can get user segmentation across who's in the room, what's their capability, competence. So it allows us to orchestrate the content to the right audience. Right?
Mhm.
And then immediately following that, we're kicking off with the TinyML workshop, which is kind of like where we left off last year. So we got a lot of the RP2040s here. We're going to be working with the developers and looking at, solutions and resources around that. Then, of course, I want to focus on the developer program. I want to be able to showcase to folks what's on there, what kind of resources they can get access to. And then we immediately move over to the Ampere stuff, where we're going to have a full demo. We're going to be able to run a few instances on the Ampere server, do some showcasing there. And then Windows on ARM comes in as well. We want to run a competition at the end. So we want to have folks break out into groups and then really just scenariolize how they would use an X board or a Y board or a Z board, and then go ahead and present that, in a group type, not a hackathon fashion. I like to just call it innovation mindshare, but we'll have that closeout event and just see how folks come together around the ARM ecosystem. So it promises to be an exciting day. All of the folks here are tied into the developer education resources. We also have additional ARM education resources that we're bringing into bear, and so a lot of that free platform stuff on edX that we're using with ARM education to train all kinds of folks come in really handy here as well. So it promises to be an exciting day.
What's interesting on that is I just realized that actually in ARM, with the developer educational resources. There's actually so much knowledge and so much information for anyone. I mean, if you look at the ARM online training under the developer program, there's stuff on gaming, on graphics programming, on optimizations. There's so much stuff. Like anybody, they just have to dig in there, and actually we'll show that tomorrow as well. You just have to dig in there, you can learn. So it's actually like this whole tech ecosystem that people don't realize that they're going to tap into tomorrow and actually learn about for the first time. And it's going to be interesting to see how that actually plays out.
Yeah, I'm genuinely interested in seeing how it plays out tomorrow, and I also would love to see some pictures. I mean,
Yeah.
I want to see 200 people in a room looking at our ARM bots.
Actually, we should create a Discord channel for this and get you all to post pictures in there.
I agree. I mean, I agree, Michael. I think we should try to do that. Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. If I make a channel in the event section on Discord, would you post in there, Peter, Steve?
Yeah, I can post it there.
Okay, that would be awesome. Yeah, you can share videos and stuff. So, I don't want to keep you guys too long from this party. I think we got a really good view. Are you good with it? I mean, we'll keep you here all hour, but I know that you have the VIP stuff going on over there. Everyone else is kind of leaving, so we do have some more questions for you. But how you feeling?
Feeling good, man.
Okay.
It's 7:33 here, so we still have a bit of adjustment to do at the booth. So let's keep it going.
All right. Okay.
Okay.
So, Michael, did you want to ask some of yours, or should I go with mine?
Why don't you ask one of yours, and then I'll take my turn.
So Peter, I wanted to talk to you because, we have a lot of members in the developer program, and we have, a nice handful of ambassadors, but you have been one of our, I want to say, more visible, more engaging, more collaborative ambassadors. And I'm just kind of curious, like, how have you been experiencing the program so far? Like, have you been enjoying it? What kind of stuff have you gotten out of it so far?
It's a good
See, I'm right here next to him, so he's gonna say all the right things, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's all justified. So, but it's actually been exciting. It's actually been a great opportunity. I really appreciate the opportunity. And you know what? It's actually a funny story. I got a notification that I was in an ambassador just before the end of the year, just before Christmas last year. And
Yeah.
I remember standing in it was the middle of the night, and I actually checked my mail and I saw it. And there was a problem with my mail, so it didn't sync. And then it came to that night, and I was like, okay, like wow, and it's been a great opportunity. It's been an opportunity to meet more people, to interact, to spread, energy and enthusiasm about technology, because there's a lot of people out there who are passionate about technology, and like to get an opportunity and a platform to actually share that passion with the world and actually share with others and teach others, and also talk about such amazing products. And for me, my very first ARM realization of ARM was many years ago when I downloaded an emulator for Game Boy, and I remember reading something about ARM Thumb, and I was about 16 years old. I had no idea what it was, and I remember ARM. What is ARM? And then it stuck in my head like ARM. So when I saw the word ARM later on, when I went and actually got into engineering, I'm like, oh, that thing in the Game Boy, like in the emulator. And here we are a few years later. I'm sitting here in front of the brand. It's an honor. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. I think it's a great program, and I think that what it opens up in terms of the resources and in terms of the opportunities to meet people and interact with peers and other ambassadors as well. There's a great bunch of ambassadors out there, a lot of very knowledgeable people in the industry, a lot of experts, a lot of people that you don't often get a chance to meet in everyday life, and actually getting to engage with them, and actually, like I was telling Steve, when you talk to people, you actually learn in the conversations from others. So I think we got a good thing going here with all of us, and it feels like an ambassador family almost. And and working with Stephen has been amazing. Even going a bit before the ambassador program, doing stuff with him, the Engage program here in Africa has been, there's been a lot of things that we haven't even touched on that's been done there. So I think, we have all the people that are working together well and in the right space, and it's amazing. So, and I hope it grows. Yeah.
So you asked about the most exciting thing that happened today. I think Peter missed on the fact that we actually saw 2 universities go to war.
Oh.
Yes.
Go ahead, Peter. Tell that story.
So we have 2 universities here. The one that you saw the girl that wants to phone, okay, they were here. The other university, they don't have a booth. They just came. We invited them up. They're ARM Engage partner. So we had an informal discussion, and the one university said to the other university, you know what, we should challenge each other to something, because it also helps It also helps build the technical skills. And so they challenge each other to war, a formal challenge to war. So
robotic war.
Robotic war.
Very nice.
So this is something interesting, and I mentioned this to you. There's a movie I watched many years ago. It's called Spare Parts. I don't know if you've seen it. I always tell people about this movie. It's about a high school teacher who actually starts a robotics club, and the kids are all from Mexico, and they don't have the resources and the means to actually build. It's the robot wars where you're actually building. I think theirs was submersible or something, but they had to build some robots for a challenge. And how these guys actually went and used ingenuity and creativity to actually go find parts in the junkyard. And obviously there was moments when they were going to fail and they weren't going to succeed. It's actually based on a true story and a real teacher.
Oh, wow.
And I tell a lot of people in Africa, that movie is actually a movie that speaks to Africa. I mean, Mexico is technically the developing world. We're the developing world. It speaks to the same challenges our people in this region have in terms of access to resources and knowledge. And there was no arm for those guys. So arm is,
The funny thing about it, these two university students are doing amazing things on ARM, right? So they show up at the booth. I'm talking to one set. Peter is demoing to the other set. And they kind of go, no, Mr. Steve, don't talk to them anymore. They're the competitors. And I'm like, what do you mean they're competitors? They're like, yeah, don't give them the good stuff. Give them the other stuff. And I'm like, look, I'm not here to, have preferences. And then one of them just screams, well, if you think you have the better robot, why don't you face us off in a competition? And it's like one of those WWE moments, right? Where you just have squaring up against. I'll share the pictures with you. And there's Peter in the middle, like a referee going, no fighting in the booth. And they're like, no, we're not fighting. Our robots are going to do the fighting. so it was really, really interesting to just see that raw passion, right? Yeah. And to see how a lot of these folks who are now really excited about the opportunity for ARM being so local and so close to them and having the resources available at their fingertips and then being able to be here and have access, right? It's really, I think for me, the biggest thing about the developer program is actually access. It's the fact that now across the world, we have provided platform opportunities for developers anywhere to have access to ARM resources. And that is immensely powerful. It's
what is it called? It's invaluable, I think, for ARM to have this reach. You can't find the next Einstein, or Newton, unless you are enabling the whole world to actually prove themselves and be there, build and innovate. And so I'm Stephen, I was going to say this after you guys were just talking about the developer program and how Peter's been enjoying it. But Peter, you're real lucky. Stephen's like, out of all the people at ARM, Stephen's probably like the handful of my favorites. He's in my favorites hand. And then Stephen, you're lucky because Peter's in my favorite ambassador's hand. So like you guys are like two of my favorite folks that I get to work with. And so this is just an awesome opportunity for me to kind of see you guys having fun, and of course enjoying your work and the stuff that you're doing with ARM. So
as you can see, Robert, Peter's got on your hat. I got on the bald spot. So somehow the nail went over my head and got on his head. So we got to sort that out so I can be properly swagged. Tomorrow I will be.
We got to get him a hat.
Yeah. I don't want to take my hat off. I look like you, Steve, without a hat.
But I think, Robert, even the stories we're telling right now through these coffee roulettes, I'm excited about. I mean, look at us, right? We're live from South Africa, right? And this is not a gimmick. This is us trying to make sure that the world hears the stories and the world sees this vision coming out of a developer marketing team. And I find that to be very, very poignant to where ARM is right now. When we talk about compute for everyone, everywhere, this is what it means. It means, 7:41 p.m. South Africa, connecting to Michael and Robert and really showcasing this incredible opportunity. And yes, by this time tomorrow, we'll be winding down with a bunch of developers. We'll probably have a big old selfie with everybody and their ARM swag. And trust me, we'll make it worth your while. But it's really, it's very gratifying. And I must mention the other part of this, outside of the core developer programs, we also have the university students, the researchers, and even the young STEM, like high school students, all coming through the booth, right? These are folks who are also using the lower grade Raspberry Pis, the Arduino kits, the microbits. They're also part of that ARM ecosystem, right? We have researchers who have like a whole display wall to the left of us, some of them building some of their research work on ARM, right? So it's very, very interesting to see how this could go from like being an AI expo to an ARM I expo, right? Because
RMI.
we're
Don't
quite
let, yeah, the lawyers won't like you merging the arm with the yeah. But
you know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
It's a very interesting representation when folks realize that a lot of the tools they're working on are ARM based.
I like that though. RMI. RMI. So originally we wanted to call it ARM ambassadors. And yeah, we weren't allowed to. So
Well,
yeah.
did I tell you mine? So we were in I think we were in Ghana, right? And sort of like when I go into some of these developer conversation, one of my opening lines is like, why ARM, right? Why would you use ARM? Why would you care? Why does ARM care? So I would go WHY ARM. And then one of the days, like I just went with the letter Y. And one of the students was like, yeah, could you move that Y over to the other side? And it became the Army. And so we started calling them. Yeah. So sometimes the student clubs, they kind of like have their student club meetings and they send me the minutes of the meetings and it's like Army meeting. And I'm like, guys, tone it down a bit. It's pretty cool, but yeah. So you find that, yeah, developers will get creative, they'll get creative given the opportunity. And that's what the community is for. It literally says, come join the fun.
Yeah.
For me as a community guy, like I just love seeing that. I love seeing the passion that comes from the community. I love that we're empowering community. Like we've got Peter there, one of our ambassadors. He doesn't work for ARM, but he's at our booth. He's representing, the ARM software developer ecosystem. And like that's just amazing to me that we're able to do that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm loving it too.
Nice. Okay, cool. So I guess Michael, did you have any more questions here? Because if not, we can start kind of winding this down.
No, I think that's a great note for us to start winding it down on.
Yeah, so to give you guys a little bit of a, because I say this every single November on the live stream that I do, and I've been doing this for about 7 years now. Every November at the beginning, I go to a convention called BlizzCon. It's for Blizzard Entertainment. It's a gaming convention, and Gabriel has started to go with me too. Him and his wife, me and my wife, another couple, we all go. And so, we're going to be heading out to this gaming convention. And having some fun. And while we're there, we'll cheers a drink to you, and then hopes that you cheers a drink back at us while you're having fun at this VIP party later.
Absolutely. We'll be there. We'll be with you at WisCom in the spirit, right? And then you'll be here with us, winding down on this day one fest, which has been,
awesome.
Absolutely exciting.
Awesome. So before we close it out, sorry, Mike, did you want to say something? My bad.
Yeah, I wanted to say have a great time at your event tonight, and we look forward to seeing pictures from the workshop tomorrow.
Awesome. So is there anything else you guys would like to say, like a shameless plug? We have the website down here right now, sending people there.
The website here. The organizer, maybe like a shout out to like Nick for making us happen for us as well and helping us little bits and pieces. And also shout out to Blues Wireless again, also for chipping in at the booth as well. Nice. And that's basically me.
Shout out to the team in Cambridge, the DevHub Live team, all of the great energy coming from the developer marketing team as we engage. Shout out to Michael Hall, to Robert Wolf for your continued leadership in this, because this is all, part of a combined effort, in us making sure that we empower folks all over the world. And then shout out to this man over here, like you said, Michael, Peter doesn't work for ARM, but he bleeds ARM blood, you know what I mean? So, he bleeds ARM out of his arm, we had to pull the plug right there, right? And it's such a gratifying thing, right? I got to point this out before we leave. That booth you saw with all of the showcasing and stuff, we had to split it as to kind of like the equipment that came from me and the ones that came from Peter. I think it's somewhere around 60-40, 70-30, right?
Oh, wow.
With the amount being Peter, right? The Ampere server was not sent to me from Ampere. It was sent directly to Peter from Ampere. You know what I mean? So
Look
this
at
is
that.
how much, this is how much the ecosystem is supporting the work that he does, right? He is not just an ARM ambassador, he's an Edge Impulse ambassador. He supports Spark Fund. He supports, a lot of the folks, Seed Studio, Blues Wireless. So we really found ourselves an ambassador that is an evangelist within this ecosystem. It helps that ARM is the Switzerland of tech, but it's even more important that we have a loyal ambassador here who's going all the way with us, and we appreciate that.
What a rock
Yeah, I
star.
love that our ecosystem's like that. Like, it's not all centered on ARM, that everybody connects to everybody else. Ampere is working directly with Peter. We weren't involved with that. And that's just, that really shows the strength of what we're building here around ARM, right? Like, it's not just about us, it's about the entire ecosystem.
Yeah.
And only point I'd like to shout out to Aaron and Peter as well at Ampere as well.
Oh, nice. Yeah, Aaron Williams, and I forgot Peter's last name, but yeah. They're both, I think, the developer evangelists of Ampere. Yeah, good guys, by the way. Thank you, and that's awesome that they hooked up there. Okay, cool. Well, gentlemen, it's been a pleasure. If with your permission, I'd love to close this episode out, and we'll all kind of go about our days, and we'll be just thinking about ARM, I guess, from this point on. But all right, thank you, everyone. Stephen, Peter, this has just been, amazing experience for me. I just loved watching this. Michael, I'm sure you enjoyed checking out this event as well.
Oh, yeah.
This is just great. Peter, glad to hear everything is going well. Stephen, thank you so much for representing us, both of you representing us over there in South Africa at the AI Expo. For everyone watching at home, thank you for spending your time here with us, and we have enjoyed your presence as well. Though, if you are not watching live, you're watching on demand, make sure you check out the description below. We'll do our best to include any missed URLs or things that we talked about. We try to include all of that down in the description below. We do go live every single Thursday at 5 p.m. UTC. So if you enjoyed this, make sure you smash the like button. Make sure you subscribe to the ARM software developer channels. Let's pull up the AI Expo link one more time, Gabe. Let's get a shout out one more time. AI Expo Africa. That's what this episode was all about. It was about ambassadorship for ARM. It was about, bringing ARM technology to developing countries and the cool stuff that's happening here at the AI Expo. So make sure you go check that out. And if you are interested in attending next year, you can go follow their links. Have a wonderful day. I'm on my way to BlizzCon. These fine gentlemen are on their way to a VIP party. Michael, what are you doing? Gonna go make a sandwich?
I'm gonna go start prepping some stuff for KubeCon.
KubeCon.
KubeCon next week. A series of special brews live from the event there.
That's true. Yeah, we'll have to just go to follow the Twitter. You'll see us there. But KubeCon next week as well. So y'all have a wonderful day, wonderful week. Be safe out there, and we'll talk to you all soon. All right.
Cheers, man. Cheers.